Right, thank you all for waiting. Sorry for the 5-minute delay. I will also apologise in advance. My camera isn't the best. I've done what I can to adjust the settings, but this is pretty much as good as we're going to get. But yeah, welcome new viewers and old and regular. I see Oscas and Knex in the chat. Just a little preface, if you like gaming content, Knex uploads his VODs here on YouTube. I'd recommend subscribing to him. And they both stream over on Twitch. Now, as much as obviously people from various events are aware I'm not fond of Twitch, I am very fond of these two men. So if you don't already, go and follow them. But we now have a big old project today to get through. How's my audio levels, by the way, guys? It should be alright, yeah? Because there's no... I don't know why I'm looking that way. I'm doing the fucking Asmongold thing. Yeah, we've got a big old project to go through. So, yeah, it's, well, that's part of the lighting situation in my room. Like, I could turn the display fish tank on, but then I'd have huge backlight and I think it would look horrible. But it's good enough that we'll pull old Ferrus Manus over here, that when the models are finished and I place them to camera, they still look good on camera, as long as things are completely in focus. You know? Obviously, while I'm actually building / painting, let's be gentle putting him up here and putting him back onto the scenic base. Yeah, so, on that note, we have a big old pile to get through today. We have 10 destroyers that are built, but they're missing their secondary bolt pistols because I haven't ordered those yet. We have, those need to be sprayed and painted because then I can just do the bolt pistols individually afterwards, glue them on, because, yeah. I'm also just realising, yeah, I know, it's just because I'm not normally a vidcam guy for my streams. I just use the Virgil avatar, because my gaming stuff that I do is very high speed. I feel like it would just detract from the experience if my cam was there. And also when I play fighting games, I do this, or when I play racing games, I do this, like, and I look a fucking fool. So, but yeah, I'm also going to move this to here because I just realised that I'm knocking the paint station. So what we are going to do is the goal for today. That's why I got my phone up. So I'm going to read to you the army lists for both the Blood Angels and the Iron Hands. We'll go through the Iron Hands first because it's a much smaller army, but they're both 2,000 points. Osgas kindly printed the majority of quite a lot of the stuff. So big shout outs to Oscars for that. However, we didn't have time to get 10 of the bases done, so the Blood Angels won't be able to be fully built. But once everything is done and assembled, the goal is to play a game against chat where you guys direct the Iron Hands force. I will be playing the Blood Angels in place of my Night Lords. Long and short of it, a shelf fell down that my Night Lords were on and they all broke, so I need to fix those. I might even decide, depending how much glue's left by the end of this, decide to put those back together, but that's a whole other Herculean task, and I think that should be a separate stream, like, chiefly because Conrad Kurz is going to be a motherfucker to put back together. I was heartbroken when that model broke. But yeah, welcome into the stream, everybody. We're just chilling, just chatting at the moment, talking about the plans for the stream. I do have the phone up right now, and that's because I'm going to get the Iron Hands list up. IHPOTL. Right, yeah, so as I just mentioned, POTL, it is a Pride of the Legion list. I know a lot of people find Pride of the Legion to be either cringe or unengaging to play with because it's just Terminator and veteran spam, but I think this one's unique as far as Pride of the Legion goes because the centerpiece model isn't Ferrus Manus, it's the Predator, which we're going to be building on stream. So we've got a Centurion Siegebreaker who is armed with a power sword, a graviton pistol, and Phosphex Bomb. And I believe I've paid for a Nemesis Bolter on him as well. But I'm just going to give a rough idea of what's going on with the list. We've got an Apothecary. But I only have one Apothecary model right now, and he kind of gets used for all of my armies. He gets passed around like a little Jezebel Apothecary. Then we've got a Contemptor Dreadnought armed with dual Ares autocannons and a helical targeting array. I've always been a big advocate for the Rifle Dread, and when your Iron Hands on it can fire twice as an Overwatch, I believe it's on Overwatch as a reaction, 2 carries assault cannons is shredding basically anything that has the balls to charge a Contemptor Dreadnought. So it doesn't matter if you've got the get top. They also have a Rapier Laser Destroyer, which unfortunately hasn't arrived because I ordered that online. So the Iron Hands will also be down the Laser Destroyer. The Iron Hands then have 10 breaches. I'm also realising now that this is the wrong list. Did I not save that list? Or did I just call it 0IH? I should have called it 0IH current. Right, yeah, this is the right one. So, no, it isn't. Okay, right, we'll skip the list bit. We'll get to that at the end because I'm probably going to have to rewrite the list. I think I didn't save it. So, we have resin toys aplenty. Just adjust the camera angle quickly. And you further out. There we go. So we've got 20 32mm bases here. We've got 10 breaches, as well as I believe there's like 3 Night Lord Seekers in there as well. I really want to build this Predator, so I think that's what I'm going to go for first. Because I've not built a Predator since I was a kid. So yeah, let's get to it. I think if I push that back a little, just trying to get a better camera angle. There we go. Everything's in shot now. Cool. I don't know, but yeah, indeed, resin crack. We love we love the old model crack. It's, yeah, so this is the hull for the Predator, beautifully made. It's got a little hole in the bottom, but we're going to get that fixed in about a moment. Yeah, I probably am going to get the Predator done first, because the Iron Hands become like almost immediately playable the second they've got the Predator. So that's the top of that. I am, however, not looking forward to doing the tracks, because I've always sucked at doing tracks. But what we are going to do is now pop these in here, as well as the bases, because they are not needed for now. Pro tip for when you're hobbying, always stay organised. So we're going to move those over here quickly, and we are going to get to work. So it's the one unfortunate part about wait there. Where's the bottom panel for the Predator? There's no, yeah, there's, okay. I guess there is no bottom panel. Unless there's, I'm not seeing something. Be very gentle with getting it out, because resin is much more brittle than plastic. Oh, that Volkite looks so good, dude. Yeah, just something to note, guys. I'm missing something. Right, okay. Dude, I haven't fucking assembled a Predator in so long, man. I'm so hyped for this. There's the turret. Oh, that's lots of little pieces. Did I just drop something? Right. Well, that's going to be nice and simple. That just goes there. Wait, do these have articulating parts as well? Okay, so that's obviously these. I guess so, but I wouldn't know how it goes on. So this is going to be the fun bit of figuring it out. I guess let's just get the tracks on first, because that's going to be easy. Those just go there. Oh, it's all good, K-Nex. So I appreciate everyone's presence, whether you're just lurking or whatever. I have just remembered I need to post the stream on X. Get the old nitro going. But how's everybody's day been anyway? Hope you guys are doing good. I'm so excited to build all of this, man. I can't lie. So I've got the old trusty Halford's camouflage black spray for the base. Sorry, I'm just doing social stuff. Warhammer and the hashtag. And Horus Heresy. And I guess just chatting. No, not chatting. I'm not like doing a chat gyat. Whatever that even means. And hobby. Boom, that's done. Alright, so we can now put that over there. This is no longer needed. Right, so we should probably, or actually, I don't know how it expects me to get the back panel on while it's in multiple pieces, so I guess we've got to clip that down, right? Because, yeah, don't know if you can see from there. Without bending, that's not going in. And pro tip, resin doesn't bend. At least not very well. So, yeah, what we're probably going to do is edge a little bit off, and then in theory, right, yeah, that should work. Bombaclad! How you doing, Get Bix? You good, yeah? Let's clip another bit off of this side so it's somewhat even. And I reckon doing that, and then a little bit of the old Pushudes. Right, a little bit more needs to come off from this side. And now I'm going to get the glue ready. This is where the fucking glue's striking. I'm easy, General. How you doing, bro? You good? What have I just done? There's the dot back. And now I think oh, okay. That's not designed to go in that way, and the door frame just snapped. So what we're just going to do. If finesse doesn't work, brute force will. There we go. Cool. A little bit of a hiccup early on, but it's okay. What main battle tank ever stays in perfect nick the entire time it's active, right? And especially considering this is for my Iron Hands, which are intended to be Istvan survivors alongside my Emperor's Children Loyalist force, which is up there. I might showcase some of that later. Up there, I'm realising that I'm, like the rest of me, isn't on stream right now. And I just be saying shit. Let's put a little bit in there quickly, just to help the bond. There we go. Cool. There's going to be a lot of in-between chill moments like this. That door's... There we go. It wouldn't go in. No giggy, no diggy. Right. So, that very obviously goes like that, so we'll get that done. I might stick some music on in a bit, find like some Dawn of War soundtrack or something. It's going to be a long, long old stream. Boom. Go. Right, so that and that can go up there because they're obviously the turret, well, the sponson fixtures. Okay, I guess I'm supposed to clip these off for the exhausts, but I'll do that afterwards. The exhausts are an accessory, they're not necessarily... Oh no, the exhausts are on the side on a Predator, aren't they? They're like there, I'm pretty sure. I'll have to Google it, but that also fits pretty fucking snug. In fact, let's use upper quickly. And... Volkite Predator. Right, yeah, it's on each side. So there is 4. Yeah. Okay, so there's 2. Yeah, they're each on each side. I might not put the front ones on because I've never particularly liked that. But yeah, they were in pretty much exactly the spot that I thought they were. However, they've got like little grooves for them, so I guess we kind of have to. Right. What do we reckon, chat? Music or no music? Yeah, I think let's get a little something going on. I'm just realising I can't click like any of my YouTube tabs because it's all got... Right, this is a lion, but this is a video about lions, so I can click that one and that won't immediately copyright flag my fucking thing. I guess what I can do is play my music. It's not exactly Warhammer appropriate. Or, no, let me go into the YouTube library in studio. because there is audio library in there that is completely royalty free. What's good for the ghost? That's only a minute long though. 1 hour copyright free music. Let's go for that. Lo-fi, sure. Yeah, let's do this. Have a look at the levels. Can you guys hear that? I think that looks alright. Levels wise, it's quiet enough that it's just there, it's chill. So, shout out to Super Lo-Fi World for providing the soundtrack for this stream. Yeah, it's fucking, this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, cool. So, that is now, oh, and it's even going to articulate. Probably need some folding out, but yeah, I guess the next logical step is probably the tracks, right? Or no, because this is the, this goes there. Where's that upside down? I guess it can't be upside down. Let me, yeah, there we go. It can be upside down, it can't be upside down, but it can be the wrong way round. So, let's just pin this all together. Get in there, you bastard, you. Wait, is that the wrong one, maybe? Oh, that's not good. There we go. Yeah, no, I think it's got to be the flat one, hasn't it? Yeah, this soundtrack's a vibe. I rock with this. I'm very concerned that this piece isn't sitting flush with the gun, because I don't know where my file is. Let's hold you there. Right, that's the targeting one, so that goes on the top. That is also the targeting one, so that goes on the top. So this goes on the bottom. Does that even fit in this hole? Is this the issue? No, it doesn't. Unless it's supposed to be that high up, but I definitely don't think so. Yeah. Oh, wait, no, hang on. Yeah, of course, because I'm putting it there. So this is the right side gun. Okay, I see. I believe. So let's put the top one on first. That one has the scope on that side, so that goes there. Fucking hands. Nope. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, we're good. That is now articulating. Sick. Okay, so if we now get this one in. That looks kind of goofy though. I feel like they're supposed to go deeper in, but I don't want to break them. Let me look on the official kit. Yeah, that's supposed to go way deeper in. They're supposed to be touching. So I guess, please don't break, please don't break. Yeah, okay, cool. Honestly, at this point, I don't care if it looks stupid. I can go there. Right, sure. Yeah, no, I can feel that cracking. That's as far as we're going in with that one, but we have articulating sponson 1. And that is the right-sided one. What I'll do is I'll just leave the other side of them off to one side, which there appears to be 3 of this one, so I don't... maybe that one's for the turret. But it doesn't appear that there's an articulating piece for the main gun, so I don't know. Maybe that was just an excess printed. Yeah, this is a real good vibe, this. Not exactly heresy music, but, you know, yeah. Dog barking is that, apparently. Kaya Place. Okay. Straighten you out. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Because the gun breaking is the bit I'm worried about. I'm less worried about the scope on the top of it breaking, because worst case I can just glue that forced. Like, you know? But the actual like barrel of the Volkite culverin snaps, that'll be a fucking nightmare to repair. I think that's about the same height as the other one. Yeah, that'll do. Cool. Otherwise that look like some cool little fucking drone. Tau players in chat be like, drone mentioned? Cool. So we've got those like that. They are good. They are in position. This is the top hatch for the Predator. Am I going to do that, or am I going to dig through my bits box for a man? Which reminds me, I've got a multi-motor up here that needs to go on this. That's been specifically kept aside for this. Although I don't know if that's going to fit. We'll figure that out at the end. Let's close up the super glue so it doesn't dry on us midstream. If you are in chat right now, by the way, if you could sit and bear... I know I hate doing the fucking YouTuber thing of, oh, like and subscribe, but if you could, like, click a like on the stream, it does help it out. And it gives me the happy chemical. So, or I mean, alternatively, if you're not enjoying the stream, click dislike. Like, any interaction shows me what you guys want to see, and if it's more Warhammer stuff, I've got boxes and boxes under there. that can always be done, you know. So yeah, I am going to commit to closed hatch, and can just use theatre of the mind whenever I'm playing to pretend that what the guy pops out to use the multi-melter. So that can go there nice and neatly. Right, which leaves us with the tracks, some cables that I don't know if I'm going to bother putting on, and the side exhausts. So let's get the tracks on, I guess. One of them has stayed on through sheer friction. Whether it's in the right place or not, I do not know, but I'm assuming no, because I always do tracks wrong. See, I would have thought... Right, yeah, so... Yeah, that way. Okay, so you go there. You go there. Ish. Then we've got a 3-piece there. That goes there. Now, Oscar did warn me there was a little bit of warping on the tracks. Yeah, I think that's too far forward. I think it needs to be back. No, but that's just objectively incorrect. Alright. Unless they're one at a time bend arounds, but I would have thought that's for the back. Let me look at the back with the 3 pieces quick, because the 3 pieces obviously goes somewhere. Ah, I'm seeing where the warp is. Okay, so it might have to be the case that I just do the track shoddily. What if I turn that piece backwards? Yeah, no, then it doesn't line up at all. Right, so it should be a 3-prong that connects it then. So I'm guessing it's this piece. Correct. Yep, that'll do. Get a bit of glue in that. You watch, this is going to be wrong now that I've put the super glue in. Hey, like Bob Ross said, if something goes wrong, it's just one of them happy accidents. We're just going to have to figure out a way to make it look good afterwards. I mean, again, I've got a hole in the bottom of the Predator, so it's not like I'm going to be going out of my way to show the bottom of the thing anyway. So that means this one goes here. Correctamundo. Don't break, don't break, don't break. Yep, easy enough. I apologise if I start rapping, because some of these tracks have been real vibes. Right, so I guess from here it's long track. Correct. So Get the glue in on the main sections. That way round. Yeah. Yeah, right. So again, as I said before, probably not gonna, because of the mega warping on the tracks, probably not gonna worry too much about getting them lined up absolutely perfectly. But I mean, that's a pretty stellar job there. That looks alright. That'll do. That'll do indeed. I am, however, reaching a concern. I forgot how much glue you've got to use for tanks. And obviously where this is 100% resin, I'm very concerned I might run out of super glue before I'm done tonight. And because of the time, due to the delay where I was stubbornly waiting for the rapier to show up. Come on, you bastard. Get in there. You'll let a fat man beat you. Right, I'm wondering if I do this. Where you now slot in nicely. Ah, whatever. Yeah, still looks fine from the exterior. I mean, in fact, actually, that side looks fucking pucker. Yeah, there's only a little crack noticeable so far, and that's because I've literally just cut it, so trying to get it to fit more snug. But hey, things happen. Yeah, cool, and that will be the tracks done. Yeah, let's do that and then just clip that off and use super glue to rebond it. Yeah, cool. Which means I can now do the same with that. Yeah, I'm gonna take a bit of a different approach than I normally do on projects. Normally I would sit and batch build. Yeah, let's see, that's lined up pretty great. And now I've got some spare track. Boom. So we're gonna leave that like that to dry for a sec. While we figure out what the fuck is going on with the rest of it. So we've got the exhausts, obviously we know where those go. Those aren't a worry. Got these, which I'm assuming is for the main gun. Seems like it. Although people are incredibly unhelpful with getting decent angles, so I'm now realising I've put these on backwards. The guards are supposed to be at the front. Oh well. That'll explain why they're not going in properly. Hey, well, you live and you learn. Right, yeah, let's not make the mistake of putting that on its head. Yeah. Oh, these almost definitely go here. Right? Probably. Yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? I can't see the back of the fucking top. Ah, there's the back of the top. No, that's the front. I have eyes that work, I promise. I mean, yeah, there is a bit. The back of there is a bit blank and plain, so I'm gonna operate under the assumption that these go here. They also line up pretty damn flushly for them to not. Well, piece down. It's gonna happen eventually. Yeah, I'm going to guess that goes there, but there's a bit of a scaling issue. Unless it goes there, but that looks stupid. Oh, hang on, do you go there? No. Yeah, it's got to go there, right? Yeah. Yeah, that must be it. And if it's not, fuck it. I think it looks cool. So I'm just going to doll up 2 little bits there. And we're just going to go ahead and say Baylife and fuck it and do it. So that bit goes there. Whoa, you go there, not where you fell to. I had an experience today that made me feel really old. I was in call with a guy called Leo, who I've started becoming pretty decent friends with. We hang out in MkIII's Discord server. Which also, shout out to May, by the way, she rocks. Which, if you've not heard my remix of her song Lost Emotion, well, her cover of Nomiko's song Lost Emotion, I'd highly go and advise you check that out. I'll probably, if you're watching back the VOD, I'll probably put a link to that in the description. But yeah, me and Leo were chilling. Yeah, that's got to be where that goes, right? That looks right. Those cables. It'd be helpful if I was actually showing it. That's got to be where those go, right? And if it's not, I think that looks cool. Right, I reckon the tracks have probably dried by now. I do want to keep the cannon the main gun able to articulate. I don't give a shit about this upper bit moving. So it seems like there is a pin that's supposed to go in there though to secure it a bit better. But I'm not particularly fussed, to be honest. I'm just happy to be building a fucking Predator. Fucking shout out that R. Kelly for what? R. Kelly 40,000. God, this thing is gonna look so bloody good. Boom. Yeah, that's going to need some file work under there for sure, because that doesn't sit in there properly at all. But hey, you'd think I was an Musume, the way I go, ayo. I've been playing that shit like all day, again fucking rocks. Okay, so let's say fuck it and get the sponsons on. I'm probably not going to bother with these pins. Just because I've got a feeling where I've put them on upside down, they're not going to work correctly anymore anyway. And I don't want to risk future damaging the model. As long as they move side to side like that, I'll be happy for posing sakes. So, yeah, I'm probably just going to glue these on. I don't know though. Right, yeah, no, let's put this on. Because do you in fact go in properly? See, no it doesn't. I feel like that's gonna result in more damage to it than gluing it ever possibly could. So I'm just gonna glue it. Let's take that off first. Hope you're not falling asleep over there, K-Nex. You need to be sorting your sleep pattern out, bro. Go. Side gun on. The articulation is still working. However, as previously mentioned, I did accidentally put the sponsons together backwards. So the range of motion isn't exactly perfect, but honestly, I'm amazed by these prints at all, and the fact that they're capable of articulating at all. So, again, beggars can't be choosers. I'm really, really fucking happy with this. And there we go. Both sponsons on, both articulating. Although it's not amazingly apparent. Predator's having enough of living. Alright. So that. Boom. Right, so let's find a place to fix the multi-melter. Honestly, it's got to be there, isn't it? This was previously on a different model that has since been stripped. Hence the plastic discoloration that you guys are probably noticing. I'm going to have to glue the bottom. Whoa, that's way too much super glue, but hey, and I think she'll be ready for the spray board pretty soon. we go. Nice, dude. Yes, I'm a child. I make gun noises with my tanks. Fight me about it. Yeah. What was that Seth Rogen ass laugh though? Alright, let's get these on. Once these are on, we're ready for the spray board. Yeah, I almost definitely did not buy enough super glue. I really forgot how much glue these fucking things use. Right, that's one of you on. Let's do the other one here. Yeah, the vents are on now. Well, going on at least. Exhausts, not vents. Okay, that looks less stupid now that it's actually done. I'm going to start having to be real conservative by the time we get to the breaches. And there we go. I'm realising I think I don't know where my tank brush is. While that's drying, I'm going to look for my tank brush. So I apologise if you guys hear plenty and plenty of rustling. Because I've got every brush. I've got my detail brush, I've got my standard brush. I've even got my odd brush that I use. I've also realised I'm probably really loud right now because I'm stood right next to the microphone. Where are you, you bastard? I'll be right back. There it is. I also just remembered that I found it. That I put garlic bread in before in the air fryer before I started stream. I've not used this in a while. The hairs of the brush are super stiff. Super stiff. Well, I mean, in fairness, the only thing I need to mass brush on the Predator will be dry brushing of probably Rune Fang. But we'll hit that header when we commit. I'm gonna commit the cardinal sin and leave my brush in the water while I go and get my garlic bread. And we are back in action. Oh, I like this tune that I've just returned to. Alright, cool. We now have all of the brushes. I'm so pleased with this Predator. I mean, we've got a bunch of fucking excess parts that I didn't fucking need, but I hope. Bismillah. Let's put these in there, just in case. They could always get used for base pieces. Right, 250 points down. And now, I do not trust what I normally use as my spray board with a whole Predator. So we are going to have to use this. Hey look, there's a picture of me in Cambodia. No, Thailand, that one. With a certain somebody cut out of it. Right, so I am going to do this part first. Of course, I'm not going to do this in my room because that would be foolish. So we will be right back. Apparently I'm going to have to, because it is pissing down with rain outside, so make sure there's nothing in the immediate blast zone. And in fact, if we're doing it here, may as well. Yeah, if anyone was wondering why my hand was, why my thumb was a little bit like black, it wasn't dirt. I'm not on some fucking crazy rot lord shit. It's just spray paint. Although not that I need to tell fellow Warhammer hobbyists, which is who I'm assuming the stream / VOD will mostly encapsulate. I am going to have to open my window in a second. Because, woof, that spray smells fucking repugnant. But that is set and ready to dry. Oh dear. Right, well, can't do much else in the way of. Oh, I guess I could move that over there and fit this on there. We're just gonna have to. Oh, yeah. If anyone that isn't super experienced with the hobby is wondering why I'm holding the can so far away, it's just to get a thick enough that it primes it coat, but not so thick and uneven that it's lumpy. Because while so this Predator is for my Iron Hands, and while the Iron Hands base color is black, and I am going to kind of cheat. I am going to kind of cheat and essentially work up from a dry brush. Let's adjust the frame slightly so that the tank and myself are in frame. Although not that you can particularly discern from the pile of black that is a tank. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I might just leave that there and operate on that. That's actually a really nice angle. Yeah, this while the Iron Hand's main colour is black and the rest of it is silver, I'm probably not going to do the uber cheat thing and like just leave it like that. But I think I am probably... Oh, that's not completely dry yet. My fingerprint on there is going to be most likely. Keep the labels facing the other way, they ain't paying me nothing. But yeah, so let's run through this near 300 point Predator. Because she's an expensive one in game. It's got the blessed Necrotechnica, which is an insane upgrade. Where did I save this goddamn list? Did I call it 9? No. Current Iron Hands, there it is. I was looking under Iron Hands. Yeah, here it is. Right, so this Predator costs 280 points, which for any active players of the game know that that's more than a Land Raider Spartan in space. And the reason for that is because in this list I've got Ferrus Manus, a squad of 5 Gorgons and a squad of 5 Tartarus, and there's also a Warmonger Centurion. The Warmonger Centurion is one of my favourite Consularis upgrades for Centurions, because it allows units that wouldn't normally be able to deep strike, such as Primarchs. So the first upgrade on here is the Locarian Locaris Defend, the Decurion Locus, sorry, which gives it the Vox, which means you can reroll the scatter. I believe that's for reserves rolls as well, right? Yeah, whether it's part of a weapon attack or the deployment of a model or unit. So the Warmonger, Ferrus Manus, and the Gorgons deployed directly in front, like in line of sight of this thing, and then you essentially get 2 chances to not scatter. I'm going to tie my hair up quickly because it's pissing me off. Yeah, there's a lot of it. Fucking feel like Asmongold. Yeah, it's quite knotty today. So, oh fuck me. Let's get that tied up and out of the way. Boom. Yeah. There we go. Cool. I like that. The Heisman could never. Right. Yeah. So obviously the Decurion Locus, that gives you the big help with dropping a Primarch and a squad of elite Terminators directly on your opponent's head, which is it's never going to end well receiving that, because even if you fail the charge, because they're Gorgons, if they fail to charge you, if they then charge you, they're gonna be operating under blind, and then they've got Ferrus Manus to deal with. So, and I mean, if someone's silly enough to charge into a Primarch, because as long as you're using this list with half of a brain, you're not going to be deep striking anywhere near the other team's Primarch. So yeah, just dropping the elite strike force of Ferrus Manus, a Centurion with a power sword and a graviton pistol, and 5 Gorgons straight on top of the enemy. You can't really go wrong, especially if you assign it as a deep strike assault first, because then you benefit from the pinning rule when you come down, as long as you're close enough. but because you get that reroll to the scatter, you can attempt to land right next to them with next to no penalties because you can reroll the scatter. So if you fuck up, you just go, oh, I'll reroll it. You know? Where is mine non-CBD vape? Oh. Oh. Well, regardless, I've got one. Ah, there it is. Cool. Right. But obviously, going on from there, we've got searchlights. Basically, an auto include for Astartes vehicles. Obviously, Militarum and Auxilia come with them standard. You don't have to pay for the upgrade on Auxilia, which Mr. Gitavic so kindly showed me the last time me and him played a game. Which, as a Night Lords player mainly, really put me up the Swanee because it was like I play Terror Assault when I play Night Lords. I run Conrad Kerrs, Terrors, Raptors, Sevatar, and then I just drop on you. I abuse the night fighting that you get for 2 to 3 turns depending, and I advance up the board doing that, and I have Conrad run around abusing his 20-inch move, or well, his 20-inch run, which he obviously can't charge after. But being a Primarch and it being an assault weapon, he can throw his knives, which the Widowmaker volley, which I've destroyed vehicles with that before. It's been quite funny. The idea of just Combat Kerrs throwing a fucking knife and just tin-lidding a fucking rhino is hilarious to me. But yeah, next on the upgrade. So as you've seen, which we should be dry now, we are all Volkite here. We have the Macro Seeker on top, and we've got Volkite Culverins on the side. In the Volkite Predators, for me, like Volkite generally in Heresy 2.0 is cracked. So with the Volkite Macro Seeker, this thing's ruling Astartes models on 2s. It's instant killing Guardsmen on 2s and Silent Sisters on 2s. And you've got the multi-melter for any of your anti-tank needs. Now, here's where it gets a bit spicy. I also run a Siege Breaker in Tartarus armor. And so the Tartarus, we'll get to what the Tartarus' job is, but the Siege Breaker and the Tartarus sit with the Tech Marine next to this, and the reason for that is the Blessed Necrotechnica, which is what we're about to talk about. The Armata Necrotechnica, sorry, there's 2 of them, and I always confuse them. So the Armatus Necrotechnica, whenever a unit, friendly or enemy, with at least one model within 6 inches of a model with the vehicle unit type with this upgrade, has 1 or more models removed as a casualties, roll a d6 for each model removed as a casualty. For each result of a 6, the model with this upgrade regains 1 hull point. This may not bring it above, so yeah, from there it can't go up. But any enemy models that see this then have to take a leadership test. No, they. Oh no, so just any model that is within 6 inches of this also gets -1 leadership, so that includes friendly units. But Terminators are inexorable, so they don't get affected by that. Yeah, and then the Blessed Auto Simulacra gives it will not die, 6+. So not only are you getting a whole point regenerated at the end of the turn from that, you can then potentially regenerate another one from there, which means you can take a Predator from being on the brink of death to being full health again. Like, sure, it is still just a Predator and it runs the risk of just exploding. But for me, unless your opponent has serious anti-armor, which if it does, it's going to be pointing it at Ferris because he's going to be in the middle of your line. And if they do have serious armor, you can't shoot me, you can't see me. I'll sit here in the choke point until your infantry show this way. Ferris drops on the anti-armor, you move around. It doesn't take a genius to figure the play out, you know? And then at that point, you're hurling back, which because of the Siege Breaker, you can give every weapon on this Sunder. So this turns this into an turns this from an absolute infantry shredder into something that can annihilate medium vehicles as well. Because at strength 6 with Sunder, if you hit the side armor of a Predator, Sure, it's 6s, but you get 2 chances at that 6, which I believe, I wish Trident was here because he could tell the exact math on it. But it goes from not very likely to fairly consistent, considering that you have 8 shots with the thing. Now, I kind of fancy my chances if I'm hitting you on 3s, sundering, glancing you on 6 with a reroll attempt, and I get to try that 8 times. Bearing in mind another Predator only has 3 hull points. Like, Predators only have 3 hull points. I reckon this, and that's just the main gun. That's not even accounting for the multi-melter. Which, sure, multi-melters are only 24-inch range, but you give, multi-melters don't normally have Sunder. You give a multi-melter Sunder, that's killing 90% of vehicles in the game, period. As long as it doesn't have the Titanic or Super Heavy tag, a Sunder multi-melter in melter range is one-shotting your vehicle. Like, more than likely. And then, for any light infantry, so if you're playing against an unfortunate soul that is playing militia with 5-up armor saves, this thing is pumping out because it's got 2 culverins, which is 5 shots apiece, that's 10 shots, plus the macro Saker, which is 8 shots, that's 18 shots, that are hitting on 3s, killing on 2s, ignoring armor saves, and has deflagrate. That's going to shred any militia unit that it fires at. And for any of your mech or tech, for people unfamiliar with the terms, mech is marine equivalent. So Space Marines, so power armored things with 3-up armor saves. And tech is Terminator equivalent. So that's, wouldn't you know it, Space Marines in Terminator armor. That's, yes, you could kind of say Sisters of Silence because they're 2-up armor save, I think, but they're toughness 3, so they're not truly a tech. But then it gets to your Custodes and things like that as well. And so all around, sure, it's a heavy points investment, but it takes a fucking lot to get this thing off the board, at least in the mindscape of my, like, you know, in the scape of my mind. But yeah, so that's, the Iron Hands list revolves quite heavily around this Predator. And obviously the Warmonger Ferrous Manor strategy, because one of the issues with Ferrous is getting him up the board without using a transport. Because unless you've got a Spartan yourself, which I only own 1 Spartan and that's for my Emperor's Children, which in said list I take it as a dedicated transport for my Palatines, which means the Iron Hands can't get in it. Because I run a recon company list, and so my Land Raider doesn't even get to start on the board. Yeah. So yeah, we have the Predator base coated now, or at least mostly. I need to get in the gaps there, phrasing, get all up in the cracks. Let's have the foresight to do that. And hold it and get underneath. Boom! 1 Iron Hands Predator. Obviously, I don't have the symbolism on. I'm thinking I might try and be a brave boy and do some freehand today. I suck at freehand. So I guess we'll see how that goes. But oh, that is not my spray pen. If I wasn't literally in the process of renovating my room, I wouldn't in a million years dream of spraying anything in here. But like, I've literally pulled up half of my carpet. So, well, yeah. Predator down, at least assembled. I'm wondering if I want to, because while the Halford spray does dry very, very quickly, I'm wondering, should I just get to work building the bridges, or should I just gun through and get this finished? I should probably find my green paints because I I like painting Volkite green. In fact, let me get my Empress. I'm going to just get my Empress Children models out quickly because I've realised I've packed them away because I played with them fairly recently. I'm going to get the Empress Children models out to have a look at the what colour I painted the Volkite. Ha! In typical Wargamer fashion, I have not painted the Volkite on them, so I guess I've got free reign. God, that looks so fucking good. I can't wait to use this thing, dude. All articulate in the works, man. Even though I assembled the turrets backwards. But something was bound to go wrong. Like I said, I haven't assembled a Predator in years. And there's only one in the list. So, like in my Iron Hands list. It's not like it's my Space Wolves list. Which Oscars, by the way, I'm going to need 7 Predators soon. Well, not like soon, but basically, I love the concept of a Space Wolves list that basically exclusively runs Predators with the Armoured Spearhead detachment. But I mean, hey, Oscars, you said you want to see the Breachers assembled. Let's get the Breachers assembled, I think, because I'm really happy with that. In fact, let me... Because it's black, and obviously my lighting setup isn't great, but... So fucking sick. Look at that shit, man. I see under extra light that I've missed a bit there. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. There we go. That should. That's a nice even base coat as well. That's going to look real good. I hear the machine spirit call. But yeah, right, so with that then, flashlight, can you turn off please, Mr. Torch? There we go, thank you. I'm gonna quickly have some more garlic bread. But yeah, how's everybody's day been? Good, I hope. You know what I'm going to do. I'm going to array the army. It's probably going to just look like a blob of black on screen because it's Iron Hands. Or take more. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to say as well. Ortec Moore is also in that unit as well as a Tech Marine, so it's nigh impossible to kill this Predator unless you one-shot it. Like, if you don't kill it in one round of shooting, it's gonna be full health again next turn. Because Ortec Moore has Battlesmith 3+, I want to say, as well as the tank itself having it will not die, as well as it getting a wound back anytime Like, anytime something takes damage near it, then it's got 2 tech marines next to it as well. But yeah, Ferris is there. Contemptor. Gorgons. Which the Apothecary goes in the Gorgons. Although I can't remember if the Apothecary is actually in this list. That's as far as that's going to come out, isn't it? So you're going to have to go right there. Yeah, so there. It's so small, but that's what she said. That is my 2,000 point Iron Hands army. Contemptor Dreadnought, Tartarus, Gorgons, Ferrus Manus, Captain, you need dusting off, sir. Shows you how long it's been. Well, I'm glad to hear your day's been good, Oscars. Oh, but yeah, playable Iron Hands force, yay! And obviously, I've got 2 Baneblade chassis vehicles over here. One is for my Iron Hand, is for my Emperor's Children. The other one is for my Blood Angels. But that's for Blood Angels as as traitors, but quote unquote loyalists. Essentially, the Blood Angels list is for a narrative campaign I want to run for my friends, which includes Mr. Oscas, where the heresy doesn't exactly unfold as you would normally expect. I was thinking of maybe hosting it on the channel at some point, but that'd be something I'd have to get to. But yeah, right, let us get the Iron Hands back up here. Be careful with Ferrus because he's very fragile. I still need to at some point put his servo harness back on, but I can't actually remember where I put the pieces. And his servo harness is a nightmare to put back together anyway. Yeah, let's get you up there as well. Mate, I'm so chuffed with that Predator. Shuffle all that along. Yeah, I did have a bit of an unfortunate moment earlier. I dropped one of my converted Crimson Paladins, which, by the way, there they are. So these are what I use for Crimson Paladins. They're Blood Angel Special Terminators. They are the Stormcast Eternals with Cataphracti shoulders put onto them and some shields from MkIII. And as you can see, they actually end up bigger than Gorgons. So that's pretty neat. Like, I'm fairly certain these are actually bigger than my Custodians. Or roughly the same size, at least, anyway. So, in terms of scaling, at least, they fit almost perfectly. I've got Mr. Alltech more up here. Shuffle the Blood Angels along some more. I might show someone off as well. Speaking of the campaign. Fuck it, yeah, I'll put him there. I mean, he's in the thumbnail, so. And one more Gorgon. Right. Let's put this back here and put him on the stand. So, speaking of alternate heresy, where things are slightly different, you may have seen in the thumbnail, there is a Warsong Revenant that has been quite heftily converted. And that is because this is my stand-in. Well, its main intent is to be a stand-in for Demon Fulgrim, because I despise the Games Workshop Fulgrim model. I can't stand it. I hate it. And of course, there's that scene in Angelic Exterminatus where he I think the exact description, because I don't own Angelic Exterminatus, I borrowed the copy that I read. There's that scene where he's described as becoming angelic in appearance for a moment. Which I thought kind of going for still keeping the aesthetic from the Warsong with these, but I'm going to paint these pink and Slaneshi, so that they're like Slanesh spines, and so the leafy bits here, they're going to be painted as flesh. Which, if we do decide to, because I'm feeling kind of tired, and we've already been streaming an hour and a half, and we've only done the Predator, so it might just be the case that we build today. And then afterwards, maybe next week or something, well, because I've got a really busy week coming up. I've got an interview with the developer of an indie game, not MkIII, although I do need to reach out with MkIII and try to get an interview with him on the channel as well, because Elusive Domain is insane. But there's another developer for a game called The Time I Have Left, which is going to be the next thing I cover on Indie Investigator. And yeah, and I reached out to them on X, and they've graciously, well, the lead developer, the project lead, has graciously agreed to jump on a Discord call with me and discuss the game, their vision for it, what has gone wrong, what's gone right, which I'm really looking forward to. They get a bit of an unfair rap of being an Expedition 33 clone, but from what I understand, it was in development, like its alpha and playtesting started before Expedition 33 even began production. So I think it's a bit unfair to label it like that. I think, much like Elusive Domain on Shorts on my channel has gotten, oh, it's Sekiro from Timu vibes, even though despite the fact that it does have the Souls-like aspect to it on Elusive Domain, it still feels more like Devil May Cry to me, with the stance switching and the different abilities. Sorry for doing that, I'm a very practical person. It's me quite literally doing the motions of the D-pad. I'm a muscle memory man. But yeah, I digress. I've got the interview with them coming up. I've got the last part of Elusive Domain, so essentially how I know most people that are watching this stream or VOD aren't probably going to particularly give a shit about the overall arcing of the channel. They just want to chill, listen to vibes, and see minis being made / painted. But I figured this is also a good time to kind of do updatey things for the channel, I guess. do the Asman. But yeah, so I've got that interview coming up. I've got to do the last part of Elusive Domain, as well as the first part. Oh! Reflexes! Let's fix that quickly. If I can. I'm going to move this quickly. There we go. Thank God I moved that water earlier, huh? I had a feeling something like that was going to happen. Let's maybe stop knocking it. So yeah, there's those. Yes, that's where I was. ADHD tangent. I should be having more of this. How the Indie Investigator series as a format is going to work is I'm going to do 3 parts on every single indie game I play. Let's use the other hand because that looked really manky. Even though it is just black spray paint, obviously. So It's gonna. I look like a fucking undead from fucking World of Warcraft, like that Jesus. But yeah, so 3 parts to get myself either through the entirety of the content or go, the game beat me, essentially. Although, given that when I do Indie Investigator, I tend to stream for between 3 and 5 hours at a time, I don't see myself not beating Wandering Vixen Nia in that time period, like, especially after I managed to beat a phase 1 without getting hit. But anyway, once again, I'm tangent and I digress. So after 3 parts, I'm then going to do a edited, constructed video where I talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, things that felt great, things that I think need to be rebalanced. So things that doesn't necessarily mean things I dislike. So for example, I think Louise needs rebalancing to be stronger, for example. But on that flip side, anyone who's watched my Indie Investigator series knows that I absolutely love that character and that fight. But there's certain things, I feel her instant kill shot that she does, that could come out a little bit faster. But again, this isn't shit that's necessary for here. Have I accidentally moved the vent on that? Yes, I had. Oh, blimey. Right, so, yeah, and then after that, once that's done, I do the edit down, and then if possible, if the developer is reachable, or has been, because like, it's been quite nice working, well, not working with, but interacting with the indie devs on X, because they're always quite open to feedback, they're always quite open to conversation, and I love trying to help people achieve their things. So, like, in the instance of indie devs, obviously, the goal or the dream from it is to create a wildly successful game franchise. I like to think that I've been helping Elusive Domain get a bit of notoriety. I think across shorts and my streams and stuff, Elusive Domain's done like 3,000 views total on the channel, something like that. It might be 2.5. But I like to think that that's helped it in some way, which I really, really wanted to, because I adore that game. And it just goes to show you that there are some incredible video games out there being made. So yeah, once the Elusive Domain block is done, the time I have left will be the next one. Then I'm probably going to be doing something called Ring Ash, which is like Devil May Cry, but it's from a top-down, like, diagonal scale. It looks so fucking sick. Every single game that I have curated for Indie Investigator looks phenomenal. It wouldn't be part of Indie Investigator otherwise. But after that little side tangent, yeah, back to this guy. So he's converted from a Warsong Revenant with some old Astartes pieces from, I believe it was from the Tactical Marines box, as well as a Kurnos Hunter's arm. I've trimmed down one of the bows to look like a dagger. I wasn't particularly happy with it. What I'm going to do is have a sword, find a curved sword of some description to put out there. But this is also to serve as my traitor Sanguinius. Spoilers, Oscars. Sanguinius is the War Master in the campaign, and he turns traitor because of it instead of Horus. And so this is the Spear of Telesto. And the other one will be the Moon Silverblade. But yeah, that's my Sanguinius / Fulgrim. Well, / Demon Fulgrim specifically. So let's get you here, sir. Let's move Zephon out of the way. Because that's the other one as well. Like, the Sanguinius sculpt from the original 412 one is awful. I hate his face so much. Alright. It's Breacher time. Give me 1 second. Have a little check on X quickly. Right. If there's any, if anyone's got a what are these fucking fake accounts on X, man? Hey Pinglu, if you're in here lurking, I see you saw the thing on X. It was oh dude. Oh no, but that looks like it's AI. No, I draw at my own pace. Wait. I was about to show their page. But because they've got a main account, I've got a feeling this is their NSFW one, so I'm not going to show that page. They've done like an Asuka Kazama in like a Pokemon style. It's so sick. Like that I can show because that's perfectly safe for work. That's so sick, dude. Yeah, they're getting a follow. Hopefully it's not AI slot. Best Tekken girl. Which also, by the way, it's Asuka Kazama's birthday today, lore-wise. So I might close out the stream with some games of Tekken. Depends how I'm feeling in terms of tiredness. But we got 20 breaches to get through. Because, as previously mentioned, we were only able to get 20 bases. Oh lordy. Oh lordy, so many pieces. Right. So that is all guns and arms. That is all bodies. That is exclusively, oh, so that's guns and shields, this is arms. This is all bodies and legs. This should be nice and quick, to be honest. I actually also quite liked how this looked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it like this from here so that I can lean back, you can still hear me, and you can see what's being built. I think that's a smart choice. Sorry for this being a shithole. So in fact, actually what we're going to try and do is turn it like that so that that's less visible. Sure, you've got the rando garlic bread now. Not anymore. No, you've just got the Ruby manga up in the background. So, let's get to it. This has been fun, to be honest. I might do this more often, although that might also potentially encourage me to buy more crack. Well, resin crack for TOS. Oh, right, no, okay. I was tweaking. I was guess these are perfect 32mm. Yeah, and then of course we've got the destroyers behind me as well here that need spraying also. So I'm hoping that by the end of this, bird, what the fuck is gluten? Take that shit out. We can't take shit out the bread. But yeah, if we just do these 5 at a time, sit, vibe. Sorry for talking my mouth full with like that without covering my mouth, but I don't. I'm a hungry 6 today. I'm gonna just check on K-Nex quickly to see if he's fallen asleep because he's trying to sort his sleeping pattern out. He might just be playing Uma Masame though. Yeah, he's still playing something. Yo, are you still awake, bro? Yeah. Yeah, K-Nex is awesome, man. Like, he really is. So yeah, let's get to Building some breaches. This is a unit that I have wanted to own since they were released when I was like, I think I was 17 when 412 first released breaches. But they've always been about 50 quid for squads of 10. In fact, more than that. Hey, K-Nex is still awake. Okay, good man, brother. Interesting. No, there you are. Okay, so that shows up there first, right? Just making sure, buddy. No, that is these. So we've got a body, we've got a thing. I guess we'll do them one at a time. Arm and arm. So that is a left arm. That is. There we go. I was sat there like, are all of these left arms? But they're not. Right, cool. So that is the pieces essentially for one. So let's get to it. These guys are going to look so fucking good. I just know it. Right, I'm not going to do that. I think from here I'm going to start batch building. So let's get a shit ton of legs out. For those who may not be entirely initiated with hobby terminology, batch building is where you do one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece, and then repeat the process until the squad's done, rather than doing one unit at a time. So for example, I've got 5 sets of pieces out right now, which I should probably get the bodies as well. And hey, anytime K-Nex, bro. It's, you know I love to look out for the homies. So that is 4 bodies. I need 1 more, 5. And then we will deal with helmets, shields and guns afterwards. Because I'm realising that I need to find graviton guns from somewhere, because I do want... Although I don't know if I'm going to bother with that, because in total, in the Blood Angels list, it's 30 breaches, all with Volkite charges. Or bolters if in a particular list I can't afford them, which is why we've gone for combi Volkites, which is a gun that is both of them. So at any given point, I can just go adjust the list without having to change models. Cool, he is nice and secured on there. So let's get the rest of these legs down. But like the graviton rocks. I'm also talking out of my ass because I'm not using only Iron Hands breaches can take graviton guns, and I decided that I want the Blood Angels to have these. Pros before 4 hose, Oscar Snows. 6 on the rhythm building breaches, you know he's got flows. Freestyling off the dome while I super glue my Blood Angels Legios. Volkite spraying. Gonna leave heretics praying. I spit quick when I slit wrists. I'm a linguist. Drop the EP soon. You already know this. Sorry I couldn't do it on beat to the track, but I thought it was funny. Oh, yeah, kurwa. Where did the Polish come from? What the fuck? Yeah. I mean, that's also just most Balkan languages in general, to be fair. Top up the glue a bit. Oh no, I think I just made the critical assembly error. I put down my fucking super glue next to my paintbrush. There we go. Let's seal that. We'll have get a bit of the old GB, mate. Bit of garlic breezy. If anyone's got some recommendation for music to change over to, as long as it's in a copyright-free playlist, I don't mind switching it over. Another slight tint of paint in my bread. Oh, K-Lex, you can't be making me laugh like that, man. I showed up on this monitor way quicker than it showed up on stream. I was midway through swallowing and got a little bit of a no diddy, by the way. Yeah, just got that notey and I was like, wow, that's crazy. Right, they are secured to their bases. Let's get the bodies on. Beep, bop, boop, bop. That probably needs a bit more than that. Oh, right, okay. I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were saying like as in germs. Like being like, yo, he sees the light of ingesting the germs on some asthma shit. Because you know I love that guy. I thought that's what you were getting at. Legit, if there was any creator that I could like sit down and just pick their brain, I would love to fucking just sit and chat to Asmongold. Because like the thing is I don't uber agree with his takes most of the time, but like he's actually a pretty reasonable person. Like, so obviously I've mentioned on the channel before, like in the Defense of Ruby video, like I'm Muslim, or at least from an etymological standpoint, a lot of Muslims probably wouldn't consider me one, but it's I'm very isolationist with my faith as well. I don't go to the masjid very often, that kind of thing, because I in a similar thing on fucking bastard. Prime example of things that would probably not be exactly too smiled upon in my faith is the amount I swear. But, you know, we can't all be perfect. And, yeah. Go on, you bastard. Sit flush. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god, they look so fucking cool. They're not even finished yet. But yeah, like when he walked back the things that he said because of the way people approached him and were like, hey man, come on, that kind of wasn't cool. Like, I don't want to go into it because I'm not particularly fussed on fucking drama shit. It's like he's open enough to discussion on things that if you can present a reasonable argument to why you disagree with him, you can change the dude's mind. It's not like a Hassan Piker where it's like kind of place whenever you disagree with him, you know? Yeah. Those bodies should be done pretty shortly, so let's get 4 more pairs of arms. So move you to there. Those are your arms. Right, okay, if it's a dark type meme song, just in case they use like a sampled version of one of the OST tracks, I probably won't bop that on. And also, I'd like it to be a big, long looping track so that I don't have to keep changing it. Like, for example, this one is an hour long, but I put it on loop, so, which, by the way, I need to double check that it is still looping, because I don't want it rolling into something copyrighted. In fact, yeah, I'll just start it from the beginning now so that that can't happen. Because I also really liked the opening one, and it is still set to loop. So, cool. Yeah, like, I've always said disagreement is the fuel of progress. And, like, the problem with certain kinds of people, we'll say, to not go on some fucking hate campaign during a small, just chill, sit and build my war dollies type shit. It's a lost art in modern society of being able to disagree with people on things without hating them. There's some point along the way in modernity we've become locked into this idea that the second someone disagrees with you on something, they're instantly the enemy. And I think it's one of the greatest tragedies of the modern era, because there's so much going on that without discussion isn't going to get rectified. Oh, right, okay. Like, that sounds hilarious. I do want to watch that. Or rather, more aptly, listen to it. Oh yeah, way too short. That is funny. Right. I guess it's time. See, I'm wondering how I should do this. Should I put the shields on the arms first or put them afterwards? I'm also realizing something. There are no shoulder pads in these that I can see. I'm gonna be right back. I need to go to the toilet. I am returned. Right. Yeah, so it seems the shoulder pads have been forgotten to have been printed. So, God, I'm going to lift that up or all the way down. Yeah, no, all the way down, because that was not complimentary to it looked like I was bold. Right, because of the light shining on my fairly fair hair. Right, cool. Let's... Oh, they're also the wrong type of arm. Okay, so this is going to be interesting, because these are socketed arms on non-socketed bodies. So I'm going to have to very precariously clip, I guess. Right, that was pretty much perfect. Oh, that was actually 100% fucking perfect. Oh, that's hilarious. Man, it makes me miss Emperor's text-to-speech device hearing like people doing bits like that. Because like with the like mass advent of VTubing essentially, and like how dominant the popular VTubers are becoming in the space, it's it would have been very funny to have seen them do like the Emperor as a VTuber. Okay, these are pretty simple enough to just clink out. Enough so that I think that that's how they're supposed to work. Let's have him holding his gun down. Scale seems a bit skewy on these, but I can't complain. Right. Shield 1. Combi Volta 1. If it'll come out. Okay, yeah, sure. Right, yeah, so with the realization that the breachers don't actually have all of their parts, I'm probably definitely not going to sit and paint everything. I'll probably sit and finish the Iron Hands up. So at least we got one of the armies done on the stream. But yeah, I've got a feeling that all of the right arms that have been printed aren't the right one. And of course there's no shoulder pads, so I categorically won't be able to finish them. But Eagle looks so fucking sick. Right. Okay. Yep, so that goes there. That shield looks really fucking small. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need another batch of shields. Definitely, these are way too small. These are smaller than combat shields, aren't they? I've got a screw of combat shields somewhere. Okay, maybe they're not combat shields small, but I was definitely certain breacher shields are bigger than this. Yeah, 100% that's supposed to be bigger. That looks ridiculous. Or are they? So the problem is I've never seen breaches in person. Okay, yeah. Oh, no, hang on. Maybe it was just an odd angle, because that looks right there. But yeah, Oscar, one thing. You didn't do any shoulder pads, bro. But it's cool. Like, I'll just order... I'll order Blood Angel specific ones on Etsy or something like that. Okay, so I think I've got one loose one. I do, right there. So we'll put that on him first. Yeah, I think the original scale is for these is too large. He looks like he's the same size as a Terminator. Yeah, dude. These breeches are too big, bro. He's almost the same size as a Tartarus Terminator. Like, this is all Tekmor in Cataphracti armor. This guy doesn't even have his shoulder pads on and shit yet. He's almost the same height, and all Tekmor is on a scenic base. He doesn't have his helmet or his thing yet. His breeches are definitely too big. Let's get a normal Marine in case, because all those Terminators are, those Cataphracti are old ones. This is a fully built assault Marine pretty much. Okay, no, yeah, he's about... Yeah, no, he looks about right, actually. Alright, where's that shoulder pad gone? Yeah, I just did. I just did. My assault marines are Mark 6. I don't have a normal Mark 6 readily available. I converted all mine, if you remember. I've got a Mark 6 body. Yeah, he's about the same size as a Mark 6 body. Yeah. Think maybe it might be the breadth of the Mini. But the quality on these is insane. They look gorgeous. I think it might be the angle of the shield that is making it look weird. Because the way that the arm is, it's having to go in a very odd... You cannot call your printing firm that, dude. That is strange. You can't call it that, bro. Like, Morning Wood isn't that funny, dude. Like, that will probably drive customers away because they think you're weird naming your printing company after a boner. Yeah, okay, so that's supposed to be like that at that angle. Yeah, I think... Yeah, that's uber cringe, Oscar. You can't do that. Oh, there's super glue. Like, categorically, the models could look like top of the line, most beautiful in the world, and if I saw the company was called Morningwood, I would categorically refuse to buy from them. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. See, I don't know. Okay, so the scale looks right now. Like, can I ask what the obsession with Morningwood is, Oscar? Oscar, because it's not that funny. Like, just looking out for you as a bro, it seems a bit unhealthy at this point. I can't lie. Where's that fucking shoulder pad? Oh, there it is. It was on my lap. It's not, Oscars. Like, honestly, it's really not. Well, I'm also noticing backpacks aren't here either. Fortunately, I do need a box caster, and I believe I've got one that I can use for that, so we can at least get one built breacher. Will it be in this pile of sprues? Yeah. So when we talk about the pile of shame as wargamers, I have just that just readily available. Yeah, I definitely don't see any backpacks, dude. That is all arms. The only backpack I see is attached to one of the Night Lords. This is all heads. Yeah, there's no backpack in there. That's a Night Lord. That's a Night Lord. The other Night Lord, I believe, was all the way in the bottom. Yeah, that's all legs and bodies. Yeah, there's the other Night Lord. Yeah, no backpacks, dude. That's all bodies and legs. There's the part that I'm looking for. So I'll just use a Primaris one for this guy, and he can be the Vox caster because all of my Primaris are Phobos. It's got that on the top. Have a look at how it looks first. Oh yeah, no, that looks sick. Right, okay, cool. Right, and then up there I've got some normal shoulder pads that I can use for the right-sided ones, or at least for him, because I'm gonna put the arms on, I guess, but there's not much point putting the. Yeah, we'll put that one on him to Give it that heresy vibe where it's all podging together. Armour. Okay, can't do that because that is too big. Right, okay, what if I graze the inside down? Yeah, cool, easy fix. No, that's awful. Let's not do that. Right, gotta be spiked shoulder pads, I think. Oh, my drink! Save, mate. 95 at this point. 85 is taking a piss. Yeah. So I guess if I put that and that one. Where's the other half of that? There it is. Yeah. These Nylords, on the other hand, however, are fucking sick. So, if while you're printing those shoulder pads and backpacks, you can put 2 more of these on there, so I've got a squad of them, that would rock. But yeah, lots of missing pieces here, bro. And I think because of the way the right arm is posed, they're all going to have their guns down and being like kind of at attention type thing, or well, kind of at ease. I was hoping to have them aiming like that, but I might look through my other pieces for ones that are aiming, because I've still got loads of tactical pieces left. Because I converted all my tacs from Age of Darkness into veterans or various other things, didn't I? I only built like 10 actual tactical marines out of them. Is this even going to work? What if fucking Gavin Free over here? Primaris shoulder pad should fit, come to think of it. And that will give me that trim around the edge that I like. Because Primaris ones are bigger. Yeah, no, those are just oddly shaped, it seems. Unless they're supposed to be like that. Yeah, no, but even then there's still a large gap. It stretches over, cool, yeah, sure. Let's do that. Right, well, I guess if we're only building one breacher, or well, entirely building one, we might as well make him look good. Where's one of the crested helmets? Right, so I guess we will be painting the Predator then. And the stream will be getting named part 1. Oh, hell yeah, this guy's got the fucking... Fuck yeah, dude. It's got the fucking eye scope as well, so this is perfect for being a Vox guy. Oh, he looks sick. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at the arms. Oh, a bunch of heads came out. Let's reseal those. I might dig through my bits and look for some chainswords and have them like the front rank of them holding chainswords, because that will get around the arms problem for this 5. And I think I've got 5 Mark III backpacks up there, or Mark VI backpacks, but again, I like mixing and matching my Heresy bits so that it looks like they've put their armour back together so that they're essentially wearing Mark V Heresy pattern. I'm going to just do this while I'm talking. But yeah, I like doing that so that it looks kind of like the Mark V Heresy pattern. Like my destroyers, they've got some Mark III pieces on them. They use the, yeah, like let's. Emperor's Children is probably a better example in some of my Night Lords than the Blood Angels, because the Blood Angels are pretty uniform. The idea was going to be that the Breachers, because it's intending to be a siege army, I was going to have the frontline troops be the ones that are all hodgepodgey, and the strike troops are the ones that yeah. Give me 1 second, just replying to something, and then I'll be back in full streamer mode, and then by then the yeah, right, so that should have dried, so let's get this Voxcaster's back on, and then I guess we'll put the arms that are there on. We've not run out of super glue yet, which I'm pleasantly surprised by. Right. There is the Voxcaster for my Breacher squad. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, because the issue is I'm not going to be able to do any more of the shields because I don't have the shoulder pads. So, yeah, let me look at these, and the right arms I'm not... no, those are the prime, those are the bits that I brought over. No, yeah, cool, right, that's Mark III. That's Mark VI. That's got some right arm. That's got a right arm on it. There's an Auspex there. There's a Power Fist. But I don't believe I've got the points for a Power Fist for my Sergeant. Right, yeah, out of interest of safety for not fucking them, I'm probably going to put the left arms on, but not the shields on these ones, just because I want to be able to make sure that the shoulder pads are there. And with my Blood Angels, because my Blood Angels is going to become my second, oh well, it will become my main army, with Night Lords being the one that I probably play more often, because I'm one of the only traitor players among us, our local group. Like, or at least that plays regularly, because obviously you play Alpha Legion Icecast. But against you, I would want to play my Blood Angels. I want them to all have the Blood Angel shoulder pads, and I don't want to risk breaking the shields, like by not having left enough space to put them on. Right. Okay, so I'm going to put these and all this back in these big baggies so that I don't lose them, so that I know where they are. Yeah, honestly, I might not even put those arms on. I think I might just do him, and we might paint him and the Predator. So much for finishing armies, right? Well, I mean, I guess realistically we did. The Iron Hands is now a playable 2,000 point army. But yeah, the Blood Angels can't be worked on. Or at least because they won't be at the level of quality that I want them to be at. Like, I could sit and bash them all out now, but their shoulder pads would all be hodgepodged. They'd have different backpacks and shit. Like, I can get away with the one Primaris backpack because that one's got the Vox antenna and he's my Vox caster anyway. But yeah, I might. I mean, I don't know. We're going 2.5 hours, and I haven't even started painting yet. So yeah, no, we'll leave those at that for now, and we'll paint the rest of the Predator because I've still got my destroyers to spray as well. So I guess we'll have at least made some progress on the Blood Angels. Put those up there. Yeah, so I guess, like, I'm just going to have a look on Etsy quickly. Maybe if I put M3, not Mark 3. Sensual sadists. That's funny as fuck. I'll look for them off stream, I guess. I'm not going to sit here and do that. Yeah. Right, cool. So, let's get you up here with the rest of your kin. I'll just put those bodies on top of the Jessica Jones box with the lascannon team. But well, there definitely won't be a game happening. Although, might do we could do Emperor's Children Iron Hands potentially, but I don't know if I'm really feeling it now. Especially having remembered it was Asuka Kazama's birthday. I wanna do some Tekken tonight. Whether I stream it or what, don't know yet. Nearly didn't put these bases back in this bag. So I just had to reply to a text. Right, yeah, let's get old boy here sprayed, as well as the destroyers. These, as previously mentioned earlier, aren't all assembled, but I'll do their pistols afterwards. Oh dear. Oh. Righto. You are there. I probably won't paint the destroyers tonight because I need to do some research because I'm fairly certain destroyers all wore black armor, but I can't remember 100% because I know the World Eaters ones did because I've read Betrayer probably like 10 times, and Delvarus and his team wear black armor, but I can't remember if that's a World Eater specific thing. And off the top of my head, I can't think of another notable destroyer team outside of the Dark Angels. But the Dark Angels also just normally wear black armor. So... because the thing is Dominion Zephyr was a destroyer. And he doesn't wear black armor. Which is leading me to believe that at least the Blood Angels don't do it like that. Alright, sick. I didn't get his base, barely at all. There we go. Get some top down. There we go, nice even spray on him. Put the cap on, because that's the last of the spray that needed doing. And meanwhile, I'm going to go and use Le Facilitar. Fucking Hassan Piker over here. Just repeatedly leaving stream. Who's the other one that did that? Denims or whatever. And we are back. Oh dear. These should all be nice and dry now, because the good thing about the Halford spray is it dries pretty damn quick. So let's draw for the torch again. He's looking nice, mate. Yeah, I think it was just because he was unsprayed that the shield looked weird. Because I've only ever seen painted breeches in pictures and thing. But yeah, pretty happy with how he's turned out. Shame I can't build any of the rest of them. Like, I could build the rest of the upper bodies and shit, but I don't want to run the risk of like accidentally assembling the shields too close, because like you can't see because it's black, but the shield is basically touching that shoulder pad, so it's going to be such a fine, like a thin margin of error, and I don't want to run that risk because I've wanted breeches since I was a teenager. So let's put them up there and move the dragon. It's cool, dude, man. It's like, but like next time someone commissions you, like maybe make sure they do all of the things. Like it's not a huge deal, but I'm kind of gutted about it. I was really excited to build them today. Right, but we do, however, have a Predator to paint, I guess, so we can do that. So, brush. I guess we can adjust the laptop like that. Oh, that's actually a pretty good shot, you know. Right. Let's have, so. No, that's rust grey. That's Slanesh grey. We definitely don't want that. So this is the problem with when I reorganise my my room. I move the axe over there. Whenever I reorganise my room, I forget where I put shit, so I don't know where my paints are. I think, yeah, here we go. Oh well, that would have been useful a minute ago. Well, I mean, I know where they are now, so let's get them out. I don't think I've got any. Well, the silver we're going to need for sure. Runefang steel. Yeah, Caliban green for the Volkite. Not rotten flesh. Ideally, I'd like Adeptus Battle Grey or whatever the fuck the equivalent is. Right, well, for me it is still Adeptus Battle Grey because all of my paints are fucking ancient. I'm wondering if I just do a fat dry brush of white and then put contrast black over the top. I know how we'll do this. I'm sure I had a Runefang grey or whatever it's fucking called. No, the Fang somewhere, not rust grey, because rust grey is more blue. I'm certain of it, man. And I'm sure I put it aside for the stream. I don't know what the fuck I've done with it. Let's do red bone. I think let's edge dry brush. Edge dry brush with Wraithbone. So let's, speaking of, get that brush nice and dry. There we go. This box will do. Right, yeah, cool. So, let's take that off. I haven't even actually got that much of shafted bone left, so I hope this. I hope this works. So if I maybe just. Up the sides like that. Yeah, I think I've made the right decision here. Shout outs to me painting my Night Lords for learning that technique. Oh, that looks fucking gorgeous. The shitty camera isn't doing it much justice, but I will, I guess I'm enjoying painting this. Well, yeah, I'm going to be finishing up probably pretty soon because tanks realistically aren't that hard to paint. But yeah, thanks, dude. I'll call you tomorrow at some point about, obviously, all the bits. But yeah, have a good one, mate. Yeah, I think I've laid it a bit heavy somewhere, but honestly, that looks fucking great already. Whoops. That could have gone horrendously bad. That honestly, if that had have dropped and the barrel had have snapped, I would have end streamed immediately. Yeah. Yeah. Aye. Aye. Yeah. Aye. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, honestly, I'm quite chuffed with how that looks already. There'll probably be some contrast black over some of it to neaten it up, but yeah, I guess let's start with the silver. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I don't think I'm going to need the tank brush for this. Ooh, what's happened to my rune fang? Ah, there we go. Now, what I'm thinking the method might be to go for here will be to rune fang over the black, then contrast black the rune fang, then rune fang again. Ordinarily, I would dunk the fuck out of it in Nuln Oil after doing bolt gun metal or whatever it's called now. It's called something else now, but I'm gonna have a little look at how this looks. Yeah, see, because rune fangs are very thin silver is the issue. And it's very glossy, which doesn't feel iron handsy to me. Yeah, it's also not laying well, so let's rub that off. Backwards tank! This is how you boost. Just to reply to a little text quick. Right, what if I do it gold, the guns instead? Because this is supposed to be like the big dog trad. Phrasing. Right, I think what we're going to do is I've gone and found, thankfully, I found some lead belcher. Hopefully, it's still got some in. It does appear to still have some in. This is not the correct brush. Oh, no, yeah, it is, yeah. I was about to have a mini heart attack. I thought I'd ruined my fucking brand new brush already. Right, cool, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a layer of warp block bronze to give it a nice thick, because we like them thick, black metallic sheen almost, but also with a darker colour underneath to not necessarily give it rusted appearance, but to provide natural shading. And it will also let me see in advance whether I will prefer it gold or, oh, that's already looking really nice in Warplock. But again, because it's a dark colour, it's not going to be super noticeable on stream. But I am going to be posting the pictures of the Predator on X later, and as well as on the community page here. It's been a good vibe stream. It's while I wasn't able to get the breaches done, which I will admit the breaches were the thing I was most excited to build. I'm kind of really gutted about not being able to build them. It's been fun. It's just sitting with some copyright-free lo-fi, which hopefully this isn't just fucking mass AI turboed shit, and it is actually made by a person. But it's been a nice, in spite of the hiccups, relaxing stream for the most part. And hey, at least I'm going to stick it out until the Iron Hands portion is done. I said the stream was called Finishing Armies. Many things, but habitual liar is not one of them, and I've been pretty inconsistent with following through with doing things that I'm saying that I'm going to do on the channel recently. So, like, as great content as I personally believe the Elusive Domain streams have been, I did say on the initial one I was intending to play it until I won, and then I gave up. Which, yeah, skill issue, all of that stuff. Oh, that does. They ain't getting the light up because that looks so good, bronze. I might just leave it bronze, but Iron Hands are black and silver, so. But trying to find the right angle for the lighting. It looks really good, bronze. Well, a moment. This one's a fucking bomb. Yeah, no, I think let's just dust this over now like this. We'll do what was originally intended. So we're gonna essentially create a base layer with this warp block bronze. Not necessarily to make it look rusty, but to provide a natural weathering of sorts. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this, the decent base layer of this bronze, and then we're going to dry brush lead belcher on top of it. And what it should do, even without the magic in a bottle known as Null Oil, is it should give us a pretty nice layered battle damaged effect, especially after we do the dry brush of white over the top. For those who aren't aware, dry brushing white or Ushabti, as I prefer to do, and then highlight that dry brush with white, gives a real, oh, that looks so good, bronze though. Oh, I wish that showed properly with the, it's not coming through because of how shit my camera is. But yeah, okay, next. I'm probably only going to be going about another 40 minutes maybe or so. Like, I don't see this tank taking me all that long. If you want to hang and play Uma. If you're still here, that is. I see there's 4 people in stream. But if you're just here for the vibes, here for the chilling, that's fine. So, I do also want to continue that Soulstorm campaign that I started on the channel, because that was a lot of fun. Even if that, even if the, oh, you are still here, nice. Yeah, even if the foolish assault that ended up succeeding on the Imperial Guard stronghold took forever. Oh yeah, no, that's cool, dude. So you wash them dishes, bro. Don't let your place get like I get mine. Although the place is nice and tidy, doing the stream today with cam on actually motivated me to get something done about my situation, and I think the place looks pretty decent right now, apart from the enormous pile of Yu-Gi-Oh down there, but that all needs to be individually ordered. Cool, that's that bit done. Let's move to this now. Honestly, I can probably use the tank brush for this. Man, this Predator is coming out real nice though. I don't know if the bronze is now more noticeable. Oh yeah, it is. I can see it is. I think it looks quite good like that. I'm gonna have to seriously consider about the silver, but I know the silver is what I should be doing because it's Iron Hands. But that's the base layers done. Yeah, I'm definitely doing this shit more often. Just sitting, vibing, listening to lo-fi while fucking painting is a whole vibe. Super soothing. And hey, it means next time I play Heresy, even though I wanted to play Blood Angels next time I played Heresy, well, I've now got shit to wait for, so I can't do that. we go. Oh yeah, no, that's cool, dude. I'm just kind of, you know the deal with when you're at low viewer count. It's you just kind of waffle into the ether. That's all good, brother. You like away. But yeah, I was looking forward to playing Blood Angels because I have played Iron Hands before. I've never played Blood Angels in Heresy, and when I was younger, it's one of the reasons I decided, yeah, we'll make all of the breaches, because originally 10 of the breaches were intended to be for my Iron Hands and 20 of them for Blood Angels, because my Blood Angels list is a quote-unquote siege/artillery regiment is what I was going for with it. Oh yeah, that is coming along nice. Right, let's wipe that off on that. Take the turret off because I'm going to forget that that's not secured. Because like a little cringe lord when I was younger, I used to glue all my sponsons and my turrets onto the tanks. And out of habit, I will think it is glued and I will drop the turret. Honestly, I like the vents looking like that. Cool. Base layer down. Now, paint the shit out the back of my hand to get all this paint off without using water. Because now we are going to be moving to the silver once that dries. But she's looking good so far. Again, the lighting isn't exactly doing her any favours. I've got an idea what I might do. Because there's a nice little space for a box there. Okay, next I'm just going to be sending this picture to you for ease of transferring it from phone to Discord to stream. Oh well, phone to PC to stream. So now... Oh yeah, but Discord's upload speed's taking 20 years right now, so... But yeah, so I guess we can talk about my Iron Hands. Well, I already spoke about my Iron Hands list, didn't I? At pretty extensive detail in terms of the Tactica. But yeah, in terms of expanding it, at least, pretty much I need to get 5 more Tartarus, so it's a 10-man Tartarus brick, as well as another 5 Gorgons. That's going to be expensive. Because as far as I've found, there's not really good files anywhere for Gorgons. But is what it is. You do have to make sacrifices. But my Custodes are also intended to be an allied detachment for this. So Iron Hands X Custodes is going to be a fun list to play, which is now fully playable because to run a Primarch, it has to be a Crusade detachment. You can't have a Primarch and an allied detachment. In the same way that you can't have a Lord of War detachment with just an allied detachment. At least I'm fairly certain that's the case. You can't do that. Is to prevent you making soup lists, essentially. A soup list, for anyone that isn't aware of the terminology, is where you just go, I'm going to bundle all of the cool things together from the armies that I like and go blah, blah, like that, without essentially respecting Force Org. But you can, as long as you're smart with managing it in Heresy, you can get away with kind of doing it. So at least with, if Custodes is what you're trying to chuck in, or like an Auxilia, there's plenty of options to get normal baseline humans, I guess we should say, into Astartes dominant lists. You've got the Overseer Centurion, for example, the Consularis rather. Centurion Consularis, I guess, is the correct way to say it, but yeah, that lets you get pretty much a whole platoon in. So if you wanted to run a pure Imperium list, like as a list without just sticking to one of them, it's originally what I was intending to do with my Blood Angels. I've got my Black Shields that are packed away at the moment because they also need repairing. I fell off my bike while I was on my way back from Worthing playing a game with one of my friends, and that whole army got destroyed because of that. Yeah, so you can use an Overseer to get Auxilia into the list, and then have an allied detachment of Black Shields, which then, because you've got the Astartes as the Crusade, or you can go for an allied detachment of Sisters of Silence or Custodes, whichever, but then doing that you've got 3 different Imperial forces, and it makes for a cool looking army. Like, Heresy's great, but just it being Marines all the time can get stale. There's a lot of flavour between all of the individual lists and the factions, but, well, the legions, I guess I should say, but unless your local meta is playing almost exclusively with like the unique units, tactical squad versus tactical squad gets boring pretty quick, because it's, I'm hitting you on 3s, I'm wounding you on 4s, you've got 3 up armor save. I'm hitting you on 3s, I'm wounding you on 4s, you've got 3 up armor save. Rinse and repeat until the game's over, and then you've got the odd elite unit here and there. I know I'm not really one to talk with the peak of comedy army list that I've written that I think is funny, which is Khan and 100 tactical marines and no upgrades, because it's pretty much exactly it's 1500 or 1750 points. I can't remember exactly how many, but that's an entire chapter of Space Marines in a sub 2000 point game. And I can't think of a list that doesn't include a Primarch, because at 1750 you can't include a Primarch because they're all 400 point plus, and that is more than 25% of 1750. I can't think of a list off the top of my head that beats it, because a militia vehicle list doesn't have the firepower to put 100 tactical marines down. It just doesn't. A auxiliary vehicle list also, because they're all tacticals and you've got Heart of the Legion, you can just go and swamp every objective. And if they're a vehicle list, they don't have as many men as you do, and all of them are Space Marines. But yeah, the Khan 100 tacticals list is one that I want to get to at some point. That'd be a really funny army list. So I know I'm not one to talk about Mr. Bland gameplay, but I do always try and make flavourful lists. It's why my Iron Hands list is a Predator, 2 Tech Marines, well, or Tech More and a Tech Marine, so 2 Tech Marines really. And Ferrus Manus, like, it's an elite cadre. It's got a front line of one type of Terminator that's the quick one. It stays with the Predator, keeps it guarded. The Predator keeps itself alive whenever the Terminators die, and Ferrus Manus drops in and does Ferrus Manus things. And point for point, Ferrus Manus is probably one of, if not the hardest Primarchs, like, and most efficient. There's nothing in the game Ferrus Manus cannot kill. I played a game against Oscas, and Ferrus Manus killed an Imperial Knight in 1 round of combat, which was very funny. But it might have been 2 rounds of combat, but I think it was one. This was a few years ago. Yeah, it was one of the reasons that I was so determined to go pure Volkite on this. But I digress. It looks like this has dried mostly. I was pretty thin and sparing with the layer. So let us... Yep, the brush is dry. Let's get to lead belching. Oh yeah, as well, that picture has loaded. So I can save image. I've just saved it as pred. Alright, let's put that down, and then I will add a source, image, add new source, pred. Ah, it's huge. Oh, I've just moved the frame. So if I put that there, it doesn't get in the way of it, and you guys can actually see what it actually looks like. So as you can see, like the bronze looks really nice on it, but as needs must, it is iron hands, so it should be silver. So we are about to lead belcher it up. Let's get the turret done first. We're going to leave a little bit of the barrel's end unsilvered, and we'll get to that in a bit, but I'm intending on attempting to make it look burnt out, because obviously Volkite is high density energy. Oh, okay, no, yeah, yeah, I've made the right call here. Yeah, that looks great. I should have also probably prefaced the stream with, I'm not some elite level painter. Like, I'm okay. I can paint to what I deem to be tabletop standard. I've been complimented on painting before. Like, I've been told I'm a decent painter. Oh, well, I've been told I'm very good, but I've always taken that as a nicety. I don't believe I'm very good by any stretch of the imagination. Like, when I sit and actually work my bollocks off on single model, I certainly can be quite good. But I don't have the concentration or the patience to do it for an entire army. Yeah, there we go. This method for painting predators, it's a pretty tried, or well, vehicles generally, it's a pretty tried and tested one of mine. Pretty much any vehicle I've ever painted, I've done in this style, in some form or another. I still need to get around to doing both of my Beyblades, Shadow Sword and Storm, because I've always preferred the variations, and also Shadow Sword is one of the greatest Imperial Guard short stories. I've been meaning to cover that on the channel for those people actually still. The excerpt readings that I do, because I don't believe Shadow has an audiobook, so I wouldn't feel wrong covering it, if that makes sense. Like it's what stopped to the Aurelian one. It felt doing it when like you could just go buy the Black Library book. It felt like Pirates had extra steps essentially. It's why I stopped that project in its tracks. Get its tracks. But yeah, this method, if you're for some reason watching me paint as one of your introductions to figgy painting, wall painting as I call it, I love my war dollies. This method is pretty safe for getting decent results out of your vehicles really quickly. So if you're like me and you're trigger itchy and just want to play with your toys, but you don't want grey plastic field, this method is pretty elite for getting done. Obviously, we're now going to do this effect. We're going to do this effect backwards for the tracks. I believe I've got some agrax somewhere. But yeah, because if you've ever seen armoured vehicles of any description in person, you know that tanks do not in the slightest. It's kind of the point is that they're able to get through whatever fuck they need to, whenever the fuck they need to, and so they often go through whatever they need, and that comes with a whole host of effects. And now what we're going to just do is go up and down it like that. So just strip some of